This project was all about keeping the charm and the character and really connecting back to the existing farmhouse. Our client Cheryl really wanted something that was bold, dramatic. She wanted a little bit of edge. So once I found this beautiful House of Hackney midnight garden wallpaper, it was like our jumping off point. It had this like drama to it, but the color palette was rich, and we were able to pull so many different tones that worked with the existing brick. This entire project just turned out so warm yet livable, and it just feels so much like Cheryl. Hi, I'm Carolyn Wilbrink, and I'm the owner and creative director of CW Design & Co. And this is our Glen Williams project. The kitchen is the heart of this home, and we needed it to be inviting yet efficient. And the one thing I noticed is that when we first came in, the kitchen was on the opposite side of the space. So the ceiling height there was just shy of 9 feet, and the ceiling height across the room was almost 11 feet. And I said to Cheryl, what if we flip the kitchen? And she was very concerned because there was an existing brick wall and there were these adorable little paw prints on the bricks. And I mean, obviously I did not want to cover up something like that, but I convinced her that if we actually did cabinetry with open backs and glass fronts, you'd still be able to see that brick wall through the cabinets, and it would really just add so much character to the space. And you also could utilize that extra height with the cabinetry. So I mean, it also just made the kitchen look so much bigger by flipping everything onto the 11-foot wall. She also had this existing original reclaimed beam that we were able to wrap our range hood around, and it just looks so architectural and beautiful. It adds some color to the space, and I love how that turned out. Like right there, the range hood is like that big impact in the space. When we came into this home, we honestly did not think it was going to be that big of a job. And once we started pulling back the layers, we actually realized that this part of the home was actually never part of the home. It was a barn that had been added on, and there were so many different layers and walls and the flooring. We had to completely rip out all of the flooring, dig down, completely reconstruct the floors. It was wild, the transformation of what this space was to what we had to do to get it to what it is now. We actually raised the ceiling because there was a skylight that was almost like 18 inches deep, but it was right above where the new island now sits, and it was leaking and it was barely letting in any light. But we got rid of that skylight, brought the ceiling up another 18 inches, which definitely just makes the entire space feel so much like higher, feels lighter, feels airier. And we added this beautiful tongue and groove ceiling, and then 2 more reclaimed beams that tie into the original beam on the brick wall. So Cheryl really wanted a bold and dramatic kitchen, but everything else in her home that existed was very soft and very playful, very whimsical. So I knew she needed to add some edge in, and we definitely went with that. At first, she wanted all black cabinetry. I was like, whoa, I love all black cabinetry, but I just thought it was too heavy and such a departure from everything else that already existed in her home. So we came up with the idea to pull a blush from the House of Hackney wallpaper, and we did this beautiful custom blush cabinetry color, and then we added gorgeous vintage hardware, and then I compromised with her and I said, listen, let's do the range hood black, and then for softness, we'll do this beautiful scallop detail that she absolutely loved. It still has this feminine touch, but it definitely has a bit of edge. And then we went with a black range as well. So they just kind of like anchor the space. And then the beautiful black and white checkerboard floors, they just like, I love these floors. They look absolutely incredible with everything else going on. So because Cheryl had the original beam above the range hood, I felt like we needed to connect with some more wood and definitely bring in that warmth. So we did a custom island, and it's such a narrow footprint, but we decided to do a turned leg on either end in like a warm tone wood, and it just blends so beautifully with all of the other wood tones in her home. Cheryl loves all things whimsy, and I found these beautiful pendant lights. They're called the Victoria by Mitzi. legacy, and they're a globe pendant with this gold leaf kind of petal shape coming up the stem, and they worked absolutely perfect with our gorgeous House of Roll Georgian bridge faucet, which is also in a satin English gold. The one thing that Cheryl did say about her kitchen was she loves marble, but she can't have it. She was afraid it's gonna stain, etch, all the things. So we found a gorgeous look-alike, and it is going to stand up to the test of time. Cheryl's bathroom was an extremely tiny footprint, but we wanted to give it kind of like this boutique hotel vibe, and we definitely wanted it to have all the personality, just like Cheryl. We wanted it to feel a little goth, a little glam, so we actually color drenched the entire space in a green color that we pulled from the wallpaper. We found matching 3x6 tiles that we did the shower in, and then we did a beautiful beadboard wainscoting with a custom white oak vanity that kind of looks like an antique dresser. We did the exact same quartz from the kitchen, but instead of keeping everything flat and simple, we tied it back to the range hood, and we did a beautiful scalloped backsplash just to add a little whimsy and a little bit of fun to the space. And we found these gorgeous sconces. They're a little out there. They're a gold leaf and very bold, but everything is very balanced in this space, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Cheryl's mudroom is a very tiny space, and it was all about vertical storage. We added a beautiful beadboard wainscoting that tied back to the bathroom, and then we did a really cute peg rail across the back. We did a custom built-in bench, which is actually original floor joists that we had sanded down, and we kept it, and we wanted to repurpose that. And then for the flooring, we just wanted to do something super dark, a little bit different. So we used the black tile out of our black and white checkerboard pattern, and we did a solid black flooring in there and added a cute little scalloped jute rug, some artwork, and honestly, I think it turned out pretty sweet. I'd have to say that my most favorite part of this project would be the details and all of the time and effort that went into connecting the original farmhouse with this space, with our baseboards, casing, the jams, all of the things that really brought this space to life is what I'm most proud of. That's what I love building. Like, I mean, we're building homes that are built for legacy and designed for life. If you love what you watched here, subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Carolyn Wilbrink and CW Design & Co. I wanted the toilet on the other side, but Cheryl thought it would be nice for a view out the window. And I will be honest with you, the other day I used the bathroom, and no joke, no lie, a bunny hopped across the pond, like over by the pond, and came through, and I was like, this is like a little Disney movie I'm watching right now.